Behind every legendary band's split lies a story riddled with tension, ego, and a few inconvenient truths. The Eagles' breakup wasn't just a casualty of creative differences. It was a battlefield of unspoken grudges and financial warfare. And Don Felder, the guitarist whose solos once electrified their greatest hits, had a very different version of events than the one fans remember. But here's where it gets controversial. Did Felder truly lose his place in the band due to greed, or was he a victim of a power grab that erased his contributions? Let's peel back the layers of this decades-old drama. Felder's legacy with the Eagles is a paradox. On one hand, he was the musical force behind some of their most iconic tracks. His guitar work on Already Gone and his harmonies with Joe Walsh became the heartbeat of the band's sound. Yet despite his undeniable talent, he was often painted as the outsider, a hired gun rather than a co-creator. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Felder didn't just play guitar. He helped build the Eagles' empire. Take One of These Nights, that hypnotic bass line that kicks off the song, his. The descending guitar riff in Hotel California that makes your spine tingle, his too. Yet when the band's co-founders, Don Henley and Frey, rewrote the narrative in their 2025 documentary History of the Eagles, they painted Felder as a man obsessed with money and control. And this is the part most people miss. Felder's grievances weren't about wanting to sing more, though that was a point of contention, but about being shortchanged on royalties for the songs he co-wrote. In a 1990s interview, he described the situation as a power grab, claiming Henley and Frey began making unilateral decisions without consulting him. "It's just not accurate," Felder said, his voice carrying the weight of betrayal. "I never challenged control of the band. I was just asking questions." But when they resumed in the 90s, they literally seized power through greed and made all the decisions without even a phone call. Henley and Frey countered that Felder's demands were unreasonable, especially when compared to Joe Walsh's more hands-off approach during his solo career. But here's the rub. Felder wasn't just a passive collaborator. He had spent years co-writing hits that defined the Eagles' sound, and his financial stake in those songs was as much a part of his legacy as the riffs themselves. Did the band's leaders see Felder as a partner or as a liability to be managed? The documentary's take on Felder's exit, framed as a necessary step to cleanse the band of a greedy member, ignores the elephant in the room. The Eagles had already transformed into a corporate entity, not a band of brothers. Their reunion tours were less about art and more about cashing in on nostalgia. Felder's claims of being cheated out of millions from decades of uncredited co-writes forced fans to confront an uncomfortable truth. Even the most beloved bands can become soulless machines. So where do we stand on this? Was Felder's departure a betrayal of the band's spirit, or a justified stand for artistic and financial integrity? Should songwriting credits and royalties be non-negotiable, even in the face of legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just a story about guitars and egos. It's a blueprint for how creativity and commerce collide, and who gets left behind when they do. Related topics: music industry disputes, legacy bands, songwriting rights.